Excuse me, do you know how much a polar bear weighs?
No, how much?
Enough to break the ice.
I'm not saying you should have brought more clothes, but if I'm trekking out into the Alaskan tundra, I would have definitely layered up. I guess it's only fitting that I too am sick while recording this, so please stick with my raspy voice and congestion-fueled rambling as we break down everything in Episode 4, Small MonsterVerse movie Easter eggs, things you may have missed, and theories on where things may be going. Bundle up because this is a chilly one as we get into Episode 4 of Monarch Legacy of Monsters. So with the title of this week's episode being Parallels and Interiors, obviously a nod to Kentaro's exquisite art show, but I see this as a nod to events mirroring those of past events. For example, the show's two timelines and interiors being what is inside all of us, specifically the masks featured in Kentaro's art exhibit, being a mask everyone is hiding behind, hiding what our interiors truly are. Who we are, our true motives, because I have a sneaking suspicion not everyone is being truthful, and I'll get into some of that later. Anyway, things start with the group luckily shaking the frost vark that's been gobbling up all of their heat and resources thanks to Kentaro's heroic acts. But unfortunately, May finds herself in hot water, well, more like cold water, losing a game of Don't Break the Ice, causing her lower half to follow in the footsteps of Longfellow Deed's Blackfoot unless the group can find another shelter. Kentaro mentions a golf ball-like structure he saw from the plane, which I gotta admit, I thought he was just talking about the Frostvark, but he claims that there is a facility one way, while the rest of them believe that they should make their way towards the glowing blue light emanating into the sky. They decide to split up, which I gotta admit was a stupid decision, but I'm curious if this irrational thinking was a side effect of the Frostvark and radiation spikes in the area. I mean, Lee Shaw mentions later that the Titans have a weird effect on their surroundings, like the storm that they pass through, or later results in May, Kate, and Shaw walking in a big ol' circle, leading them right back to Hiroshi's camp that they started at. This is completely new Titan power that we have not seen in the MonsterVerse, by the way, so you're learning the same time I'm learning. The group splits up with Kentaro going off on his own adventure, while the other half of the story is a flashback to about a year ago. It was hinted at in episode 1 that Kentaro was an artist, as we're shown his first solo art show opening night titled Parallels and Interiors. However, he's a bit uneasy, unsure, maybe it's his nerves, but we later come to learn that this is all done as something to impress his father. Again, the masks of his exhibit, and later shown in his home studio, littering the walls, shows that he is hiding behind a mask of his own identity, what he truly wants to be. The big fancy art show was what he thought his father wanted, so he needed to follow in the same footsteps to bring him honor. But when Kentaro meets May, he quickly learns that he can show his true colors, for example, his own passion project drawings in his studio. This is who he truly is, not the fancy pants, pretentious, have your own bottle at a fancy exclusive bar Kentaro. Mentioning he designed the lights in the place, of which we can see, some rough designs for the birds later in his home studio. But May is hiding behind a mask as well, initially being weirded out by Kentaro taking a photo of her and having him delete it. But I'm saying that she had him delete it because she didn't want any sort of online paper trail as to where she's at. We know she's on the run, her sister Lyra is concerned for her, who I'm assuming is who May called in episode 3 on the boat, but part of me thinks May had been tracking Kentaro, maybe to find where Hiroshi was. The reason I say this is because she seems pretty interested in the Monarch files from the get-go, and on the Monarch Unlocked website, there is a picture of Kentaro's art exhibit poster. Maybe working for Monarch, a different organization. Am I reaching here? Let me know in the comments. It would be another mask a character is hiding behind, fitting well with the episode's title. Another parallel I picked up on was May holding the glowing blue orb in Kentaro's bed, symbolizing the glowing blue pulsar emitting from the giant hole in the ice. Jumping back a bit and tying in with the glowing pulsar that we just mentioned is the opening in 2015's Utah with Barnes, a Monarch agent stationed at Outpost 47. According to the other MonsterVerse movies, this isn't an active Titan site. It maybe could be down the road according to some old faithful readings from the Monarch Unlocked website, or could solely be side effects of the Alaskan Pulsar event. Anyway, over her Nicki Minaj Anaconda jam session, we get a glimpse of who Barnes is, fueled up on Armageddon energy, which looks like a giant lizard on the can and may hint at what Godzilla brings, but also the 1984 science fiction novel Neuromancer. So Barnes is very much a hacker, but I'm curious if this novel is actually a clue to May's journey, with the novel starting with a once talented computer hacker caught stealing from their previous employer, now hiding out in Japan. Another potential tease to May being Monarch material, then gone rogue. Barnes calls into Monarch HQ based in Arlington, Virginia, stating that the radiation spikes are off the charts in Alaska, claiming this sort of thing only comes from outer space, specifically supermassive black holes. Continuing with her comparing it to a pulsar, essentially a highly magnetized rotating neuron star that emits beams of electromagnetic radiation out of its magnetic poles. The only other time readings like this occurred were on G-Day. So it's pretty obvious this is some sort of rift like a Pacific Rim or two, I can't remember which one, that has been torn open to the hollow earth that we later see in Godzilla vs. Kong, meaning that this frost vark, amongst, I'm assuming some other titans, may have slipped out of this radiation tear. Either way, Monarch hasn't a damn clue what to do about it, but Tim steps up saying that these things should be taken seriously, which looks to be earning him brownie points with the rest of the Monarch crew. Back to the present, Kentaro's Titan Vision quest leads him to remove his mask and confront his father about him only pursuing the art exhibit lifestyle because of him, but he didn't attend the show. And I think Hiroshi actually did, but Kentaro was too busy with May. Anyway, him admitting this, allowing him to follow the metaphorical pencil shavings of Hiroshi's to the same golf ball-like facility he mentioned earlier. Here, there are actual physical pencil shavings, meaning that his father is alive, on the same path, and had fixed the radio to call search and rescue. Closing the episode is Lee Shaw, now knowing the Frost Vark loves heat, something that was hidden and translated last week on Hiroshi's map, using leftover fuel from the plane to distract the Frost Vark. Just looking at this thing, it sucks in any sort of geothermal energy is my guess, which is why it's staying close to the giant glowing rift. Search and rescue save them at the last second, but of course delivers them right into the hands of Tim and Monarch. Now, from the look on Tim and Shaw's faces, I'm curious if they have some sort of past beef that has got to be hammered out. But I'm guessing a big part of this story now will be the investigation of the blue glowing pulsar event in Alaska. I'm curious if a Monarch will set up a research facility site similar to the one in Antarctica, and then this will be yet another way to access Hollow Earth like we see in Godzilla vs. Kong. Anyway, that is episode 4 of Monarch Legacy of Monsters. Maybe my least favorite episode so far, because things are kind of just brushed over like, yeah, that can happen now. For example, the Titans having the power to make people hallucinate seems bananas, but then again, it's a giant frozen aardvark. Just go with the flow. Don't ask questions. I think the thing I am most curious about is Lee Shaw now meeting up with Tim, who seem to have some sort of past together. Maybe Shaw was fully in on Monarch's more nefarious operations, but then got out. I don't know, who knows? It does seem Tim knows Shaw isn't the nice guy he's given off, rather maybe doing something that actually put him in the retirement facility. I don't know, man, but let me know all of your thoughts, feelings, and small things in the comments on episode 4. Just down below. I'm struggling right now. I am very sick. Anyway, giveaway competitions are starting up again, as we'll be giving away 3 random 2023 Blu-ray movies on the 15th of December. And all you gotta do to get a chance of winning this is like this video, make sure to subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on Monarch. We pick the comments at random, and the winners will be listed on screen in December. And if you haven't, please check out all of my other social media accounts for my Shorts and Clips YouTube channel, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everything. We'll be back next week with episode 5, so have a great weekend, stay healthy, drink water, hopefully I don't die, you're the bestest, and bye-bye.